Someone wrote in and said, I'd like to see an example of a respectful goodbye ritual for long-term partners to unhook from each other and smooth out their own Velcro hooks so they can go well and then return cleanly. Do you have any suggestions?
So a completion ritual, a transition ritual.
This is Reid from readaboutsex.com.
Cathy from theintimacydojo.com. Well, I think ultimately...
He didn't know what I was going to ask.
No, I never do. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I think sitting down with your partners with that intention and brainstorming what the ritual is, like creating the ritual for the two of you and figuring out what your needs are, is ultimately what you want, because they're like the unhooking or the visuals for me that I do with some grounding exercises and completion exercises is the idea of like you're covered in Velcro, and that you imagine the Velcro, the little hooky sides are the ones that you're covered in,
and you're hooked,
and that you straighten out your hooks so that you can't, so that you just don't.
And then you pull them in so they're inside.
Yeah, and then the second step is that you imagine, like you're a Play-Doh fun factory, you imagine you could reverse it and pull the strands in so that you're smooth, so that other people can't glom onto you.
And maybe put some of the slippery stuff, like window.
You can do whatever you want, man. I don't,
I've heard
ritual.
I've heard you say that.
I don't put slippery stuff on.
Like Rain-X stuff.
I don't do that.
Oh.
I've never done that.
I do Rain-X.
I don't know what you're thinking about. Rain-X?
Yeah, because then there's nothing to grab.
So they should cover themselves with chemicals.
Energetically. It works for me because then it feels like there's people can't throw stuff that will stick on me. So I like that. I also like to close with appreciation. So I did this with a house that I'd had for 10 years, and I think it would work for humans too. I went around and I appreciated different experiences I'd had and different safety I experienced there. And I thanked the house and I wished it well. And then I said, and now I return my energy, because I feel like, for me, I feel like if I spend a lot of time with a person or a thing, my energy tends to get connected with them. And I thanked it, I appreciated it, I wished it well, and then I invited my energy to return to me. So
there you go. It's just that simple. Yeah. Figure those things out for yourself. Use, ask other people about completion rituals and grounding techniques, because you can kind of crowdsource from your friends and whatnot. For those of you who are watching this being like, that's a little too woo-woo for me, understand that sometimes you're doing completion rituals for the other person, because that's what they need. And that kind of like role-playing and going through things, whether you're woo-woo or not, is a very powerful way to complete a ceremony, like a graduation process. And American culture has forgotten the power of ritual and of ceremony, mostly because we were all subjected to 8th grade graduations that were way too freaking long, and we're just like, and then you just have this approach to all ritual in general. So understand ceremony and ritual are super powerful things. And
sometimes what people invest a lot in, it can have energy for people. So like, I love candles as part of that. And for a lot of people for weddings, they each have their own individual candles, and they light the center one. So maybe you have a center one that you light together, and then you each take individual candles and light them, and then together blow out the center one. Like you could,
whatever those things are, those things can be powerful for your brain or powerful for the other person, and that's something that they need, or people, things that they need. So that kind of conscious uncoupling and completion can be really powerful and important. It's okay to not like them at all and to be like, this is bullshit. And it can still be powerful for the other person. So in the interest of helping dissolve whatever, or transition whatever connection that you have, if it's not crossing some weird boundary of yours, show up to do the ritual Show up for graduation, folks. Yeah. It's important to your parents. All right? There you go. We're leaving on that. On that note, leave comments. What suggestions do you have for completion, grounding, uncoupling ceremonies and rituals?
Yeah,
good.
I'd love to hear.
Thanks for tuning in, Sex Geek. If you would like to continue with the brain sex, do me a favor and click subscribe right here. If you'd like to watch me on social media, that's where you're going to go. Next video, maybe? And if you really would like your own Sex Geek t-shirt, please click right here, right now. Boop. No, really, like...